such a good hat.
It is. I'm so sad. I need to have a custom podcasting hat that like it'll go through the hat, because if I was like so stoked for the look too.
No, the look is good.
So,
I think you just keep your hand on it.
what do you mean?
Like just hold it. Like you're a cow. Yeah, like that.
Welcome to Mystic Moments.
Yes. We're now at a rodeo. Oh, you know what that made me think of? Did you ever watch the movie Tombstone?
Yes, there's a guy that goes to our pool that looks like Vernal from Tombstone. He's got
Really?
He looks just like him.
Well, rest in peace to
Oh, yes, Val Kilmer.
Kilmer, yeah. That's sad.
It is really sad.
I always like hated him in Topgolf, but loved him, at the same time. And he did a documentary. Brilliant guy. Like the character in Topgolf, when you see an actor or an actress in a certain movie.
What the fuck is Topgolf? Isn't that a place you go?
Not Topgolf, Top Gun.
Oh my God. I was like, all right, I know I don't know pop culture, but
we were just at a place last night that was like Topgolf for the wrestling banquet, and that is top of mind.
Oh my God.
But, like Val Kilmer for me will always be Iceman and Top Gun. It doesn't matter what other movie he was in. And so for my dad,
he'll always be Tombstone for me.
Yeah. So for my dad, he was always going to be, what is his character's name in Tombstone? He's like, I'll be your Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Doc Holliday.
Yep. There it is.
Bam. I didn't have to use good old.
Just had a full on Emerald moment.
Yeah. But he was such a brilliant guy.
That cult classic Topgolf?
Topgolf. Not to be confused with Top Gun.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. So anyways, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. I hope he's okay. He's fine. Totally fine.
You went through all of that in your head and you were like, yeah, he's bad. No, he's good. He's good.
Fine.
He's fine.
He's all fine. Good. I think he was a spiritual person. When you watch, that's what I was going to say about how cool he was and how educated. He went to Juilliard. He did a documentary on himself a few years back. And because he has all of this footage and all of these writings and what have you that he's done throughout his career, and he wanted to do something with it because he ended up getting throat cancer in 2014 and had some major health issues, did rebound from that, but never made it back to the screen, so to speak. And he created this documentary, and it was fascinating how brilliant he really was from is it filmographer perspective? I don't know what
cinematographer.
Yeah, where you're just everything about the movies and acting and becoming a character, he really embodied. He really took it to heart. So his documentary was fascinating. I didn't know any of this about him.
There are some celebrities out there that are very spiritual and in touch with all of that. I actually got into a conversation with one of my students last night about Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Another one that's some of his interviews are so fantastically wild. And I'm like, I'm here for it.
Yeah. He's another one. Speaking of, I was having a conversation about the hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, where Stephen King stayed and wrote The Shining.
Is it Bower Hill?
I don't think that's the name of it. I don't remember.
What is that name?
Room 217. And how when they filmed The Shining, it was not filmed there. And Stephen was very upset about that. But what was filmed there were scenes from Dumb and Dumber, which you would not associate that movie.
Oh, the
with that hotel.
Resort on the hill?
Yes. And Jim Carrey stayed in room 217, which is the most haunted, notorious room in that hotel. And in the middle of the night, came down and said, I am not going back to that room. I'm not staying in this hotel. I am leaving. We will not film any other scenes here, all of this. And never talked about what actually happened to him in that room, to my knowledge, but had a moment in that room.
The Stanley.
The Stanley. Yes. Yeah. The Stanley Hotel. interesting guy. So, I feel like anybody who is spiritual and is open can potentially have experiences in places like that. Hence why I don't go to places like that at all, ever.
I think we've already established this on the podcast, but I will run headlong into it and Rachel will run the opposite way.
It's true. It's the yin and yang of how we go into the...
Yeah.
So what are we doing here today?
Let's welcome everybody. And then we are going to talk about Taurus season.
The Taurians. All right.
Welcome to Two Mystic Mamas. Have you listened to the guys' podcast? All right, you guys, by the time you hear this, it has already come out and you've seen it.
Two Mystic Misters.
But they were very proud of themselves doing Welcome to Two Mystic Misters.
I have not listened to it yet.
I haven't listened to the whole thing, but I have definitely spot checked some stuff.
Okay. Yeah, Isla is really into saying, Welcome to Two Mystic Mamas.
Is she really?
Oh my God, I hear her all the time. She now uses it in her imaginative skits with her Barbies or, Bluey or whoever she's playing with, Gabby's Dollhouse. And they have a podcast when they play.
That's incredible.
I know. It's really funny. And she has it down too. Like she has down the inflection and everything. So it's really cool. I love that little lady.
She's so great.
She drives me. The other day, I said, she said, Mom, do I have school tomorrow? I said, yes, you do. And she said, damn it. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That is not a word you're allowed to say.
I remember when Evie was younger, I was like, go ahead and say them. They're just words, but words have weight and certain words do have consequences with them. But by all means, go on. I'll wait right here. Oh, man. Have you looked at your kids' charts to see where they have significant placements in their birth charts?
That's a great question. Something I should do, but I have not.
I mean, I have Evie's chart. I haven't done like a deep dive into it, but I will like touch here and there. I should have looked that's what it made me think about it. It was like, oh, I wonder how our stubborn little ladies look with Taurus season. Like if there's any significant placements in their chart in Taurus.
You mean the houses, right?
Right. So a little bit about Taurus season. We are coming into it. It runs from like April 19th or 20th through May 20th.
Correct.
And all of the zodiac seasons are ruled by a planet. And we're ruled by Venus.
Yes.
In Taurus.
Yes.
Which is love.
Super feminine.
And beauty.
Yeah.
And money. And all of those things.
Lots of money.
Yeah.
Lots of money. Taurus, they're all about the money.
Right. They're also an earth sign, which is, part of that grounded, steady, all about comfort, Taurus characteristics. And they're a fixed sign. So that means they're a little fucking stubborn.
Well, they're also represented by the bull.
They're also persistent and reliable.
Yeah. Practical, reliable, hardworking. Things that, of the earth, right?
Well, I mean, this is a big shift because we're moving from Aries season, which is like impulsive and fiery, to Taurus, which is like grounded and practical.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes moving from season.
It's like a slow burn.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And the bull, if you think about what the bull represents too, bulls tend to be pretty docile, go about their way, doing their own thing. But if you piss a bull off, you better move. Same with Taurus. If you piss them off, let them cool down, just step out of their way. They don't get angry easily, but when they get there.
In my younger years, I wanted to go run with the bulls.
Oh, yeah. No desire. None.
I don't feel that way now, but I did when I was in my 20s. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go do this. I want to run with the bulls.
I feel like if I was at the very front of the pack and like I ran, it would be like a short amount. And then I would just want to be up in those balconies.
What do you have to do to be the person in the front of that pack?
I don't know.
Where's the hierarchy? How does that happen?
And isn't it true that like while you're running with the bulls, people are also throwing tomatoes at you?
What?
Yeah.
It feels unnecessary.
I think that's the tradition. It has something
that to egg on the bulls. Like, God, I hate that.
It's
produce.
because the red. Yeah, they see red. So it's like you target the people with tomatoes, and I mean, we should probably look into this a little bit more, but nothing about running with the bulls because it's in a specific place in Spain too.
Right.
A specific town.
Pamplona.
Yes. Anyways.
It all comes back to like Spain, Portugal.
The bulls.
It keeps coming back there. Anyway.
The bulls. Okay. So who are some famous Taurus folks?
3 that I looked up. Adele.
Yes. Yes.
Lizzo.
Okay.
And The Rock.
Yes. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I mean, there's also some other ones in there like Zuckerberg, but we don't need to talk about him. Yeah.
And also rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth II.
All persistent, hardworking, stylish,
creative women.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we should just talk about the women. I mean, Dwayne, we'll add him into the mix. He's got 2 girls. He is definitely in touch with his divine feminine for sure.
100%.
Yeah, so we'll throw him in the mix. He's good energy. I'm down with Dwayne.
I know.
I'm down.
I know.
I'm down with The Rock.
Well, he's also bald, and you have a thing for the bald men.
I do, and he's Maui, and I love Moana.
So,
plus, I love him with Chris Rock.
Is he your celebrity hall pass?
No.
I feel like we've talked about this, but I can't remember who it is.
No. So they've kind of changed over time. Jason Statham.
As they should.
Jason Statham is one of them. And I really, really loved Channing Tatum, but I'm kind of about that now. Still good looking. His energy is changed and shifted. Who I had a huge crush on. Huge. And I think it would still exist. It definitely would still exist if I saw him out and about. I probably would faint.
You'd throw tomatoes at him and run at him like a bull.
Josh Hartnett. I've thought about what I would do if I was in the physical space with Adele. When I went to see Lady Gaga in concert, I would not stop yelling. Like I just needed her to feed my energy. Yes. Like the whole concert, I was just like, oh my God. Like Jillian was like, can you please shut up? Like I'd be singing the songs, but even when she was just talking, I just was in awe.
Well, that was a cool concert too, because her grandmother was
her grandmother
from West Virginia.
Yes, her grandmother lives in Morgantown, which I'm always, do you ever be driving and you're like, I wonder if I'm driving by anybody famous?
No, but no.
Oh. The other day I was going through Allentown, next to Mount Washington and what have you
There are 2 Allentowns.
There are 2 Allentowns. Not Allentown where the office is based out of.
Mount Washington, Allentown.
Or is that? No, that's Scranton. But Allentown and Scranton are very close to each other. But Allentown is a little sub neighborhood within Pittsburgh. It's like near Mount Washington, Mount Oliver, Beltuver. It's up on the top of, if you've ever been to Pittsburgh, where the inclines are, that is the whole ridge right there. And so Allentown's up there, and there's a very, very good and famous restaurant, A La Familia, and Will Ferrell was at it the other night.
Oh, really?
Right when I was there. Did I see Will Ferrell? I did not, but I was very excited to see.
What would you have done if you had seen Will Ferrell?
I probably would have yelled, "You're my boy Blue," or "I'm going streaking."
Just throw yourself.
Or you must be from the South Pole. You're an angry elf.
Angry elf.
I love Will Ferrell. I think he is.
I do too.
His energy is also so good. So some of the themes for this particular Taurus season in 2025 is to take more time to live in the moment and enjoy your personal life.
It's all about comfort and care and art and beauty.
And I think that message is so true. I think, I have found myself in these first 3 months moving into this 4th month of the year. The first 3 months were a challenge. It was a hustle. It was a lot of chaos. I felt a lot of chaotic energy. And I'm ready to move into the spring where it's a lot of focus on me, my family,
Right.
being in that present. That's come up a lot with us, is just being present in this moment. And I think it's so important because we get so caught up in the day-to-day work and kids and life that we forget, because it's just not top of mind, to make ourselves a priority and to be enjoying this personal experience that we're having on this earth.
Yeah. I did make some notes about how this Taurus energy affects individual signs. And it's really interesting because I did it based on the fixed versus the cardinal versus the mutable signs, right? So for the fixed signs, which are going to be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, this is all about lessons and flexibility and growth, right? Taurus, it's your time to shine, quite clearly, right? Like, this is your season. This is where you feel comfortable, but also they can intensify their stubbornness a little bit when we have the sun in Taurus, right? It's one of those things that I think when we enter our own sign, our own sun sign, everything's a little bit more amplified.
Right.
If you've ever felt an existential crisis, like have you ever had like a product that was discontinued that you absolutely love, like a Bath and Body Works set from 2005, and then it's no longer there anymore? But it's there's people that it's like, nope, I cannot live without this scent. You might have a strong Taurus placement somewhere in your chart. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Or makeup goes out of product.
Right. So for fixed signs, this is a great time for growth, but also it can be a little bit triggering of a time. But when we're triggered by stuff, that's a place that we can heal. So I would say that's like the big message for the fixed signs, is to lean into the growth and just allow yourself to feel that comfort that Taurus season brings, and the discomfort as well for some signs. Because like Aquarius is a fixed sign, but they're all about that rebel spirit, and they're going to clash hard with that Taurus energy.
Right.
So this is not going to feel necessarily like a comforting time for the Aquarius friends.
Right. Whereas there are some, like you've already mentioned a few, but there's different signs that are compatible.
Right.
And mix well with that energy. And then other ones that, you might just be going into this knowing that there's some lessons that will present themselves, but that is, a challenge is never necessarily a bad thing. So,
well, the cardinal signs, which is going to be Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer, are going to they're going to be pulled to be patient. So they might be really good at initiating stuff during this season, but maybe not so great at the follow through, because Taurus season is asking them to be patient. And for, Aries, like, slow down the impulsiveness, right? Like, we're doing it's that slow burn, that move from Aries into Taurus season. And for Cancers, they can feel really supported and seen in this season, because it's all about security and home. And the Libras, well, their indecisiveness might get them a little bit, but
you don't say.
It's all about the aesthetic. So for Libras, this is a good time to have care. And I will say, I pulled a card this morning, and it was the Knight of Cups. And all of the messages that I was downloading were about care. Take care. Take care with yourself. Take care with your body. Take care with how you do things, how you love on people, and romanticize your life. Like, I just kept getting a very strong message of take care right now.
And I think that take care can also play into like the material aspect of our lives and our homes too, because not only does Taurus season kind of fall in line with spring cleaning, but going through and looking and re-envisioning your space, re-envisioning how you feel when you walk into a space. So it's a good time to take stock of what you have, maybe what you don't have, and that self-care can come into, I need to revamp this space. I need to revamp my dishes or whatever, my cups. There's things that we use all the time. And I know that it sounds kind of funny, but when you get a new set of something, it can completely shift.
Yeah. It can shift how you do things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like when you look at your pans and you're like, I need a new set of pans. Like this has had a good life, but the life is now done. Right. Goodbye. And then you're cooking with it's like a new energy that you're bringing in. So this is a good time to take stock of that as well. And just kind of do that, walk into a room, spend some time in that room, figure it out, revamp it, and then come back and then go into another room. And I love that feeling. I love that feeling of, dusting stuff off, cleaning it up, and giving it a new life. I do a lot with the kids' rooms where I will not necessarily go out and buy anything, but I will reshift furniture from one room to another room, and it gives it a completely new vibe.
Once upon a time when I did not have a sectional couch that was like 2 big chunks and I had 2 sofas, I would move my shit around all the time.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. It's a good time to do that.
I do miss being able to do that.
And again, this goes back to when you redo and reconfigure these rooms in your life, you welcome in new, fresh opportunities, whether it be financial opportunities, whether it be relationship opportunities. It's a breath of fresh air. It's like opening the windows on a spring day and having that blow through the house. It so feels symbolic.
So good.
Yes.
I did it yesterday and I was just like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing.
I love it.
Sleeping like that.
Yeah, I slept with the window open last night.
Oh my gosh, give it all to me.
Yep. So rainy. I love it so much.
Listen, we had hail here. Did you guys have hail?
We did not have hail.
It was not yesterday. It was the day before.
Oh, that storm system that blew through was bananas. I was on the south coming in.
Huge hail.
Yeah, it was coming. I was on the outside of it coming up from the south into the city. And the lightning on the city was insane. I could see the lightning bolts, but it kept coming together, but moving north at the same time. So I know that you guys got pounded.
Oh, yeah.
Up here.
It was crazy. The lightning was crazy. The hail was a little bit bigger than a pea size. And I was like, oh, my car.
Yeah.
We live that no garage life, sadly.
Yes.
But it was really crazy. And the energy in the air was...
Oh, the energy was...
electric.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. So, I mean, those are all signs, too, from Mother Nature of what is ushering in, too. So pay attention to your weather. Pay attention to what is happening, to the surroundings, and... we're moving into full-on spring at that point. So you're also going to be dealing with a lot of new life everywhere.
Well, and that's something that you're going to see too. The one sign that we didn't get to yet are the mutable signs, which is going to be Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Virgo. And they're adaptable, right? These signs are adaptable. But Taurus season is asking you to commit to something, right? So if that is self-care, or if that is whatever it is you're trying to pursue, if you're a Pisces and your head is in the clouds, then it's time to look at tangible results, right? If you're a Virgo, enjoy the hell out of this season because it's all about being practical and stable and productive.
Yeah, attention to detail.
Right.
Yep.
And the Sagittarius, they might not love the Taurus energy because it clashes a little bit with their adventurous spirit, if you will. But even me, I'm a Gemini. I am definitely a adaptable sign. And this was when I was doing my research for this, I was like, okay, everything is pointing to me taking care of myself and committing to that and what that looks like. And we've talked about this in previous episodes with tending the garden you can reach.
Yep. Plowing the garden, putting the nutrients into the garden. You are the garden.
What'd you guys do today? Plowed the garden.
Plowed that garden.
I mean, it's Venus. It's a time of love and fertility. If you are trying to plow your garden.
This is the time.
This is the time.
Capture that energy. Plow away.
Oh my God.
Just make sure, a lot of rain has fallen so it's nice and moist. I had to get that word in there.
Oh my God. I have one friend in particular that's listening right now that's like, oh, God, moist. Really?
Yeah. It's like the most triggering word of all of the words that are out there. All right, so here's some fun facts about Taurus that we haven't even talked about. Lucky numbers associated with them are 2, 4, 6, 11, and 22. Ooh, there's that 2, too.
The synchronicity for me this week has been insane.
With the numbers?
With numbers. Oh my God. It's literally everywhere. It's 888s, it's 222s, it's 444s, it's 1212s. I mean, it has been everywhere.
I'm down. Some famous Taurus landmarks. The city of Rome, the country of Switzerland are both considered to have very, very strong Taurus energy. So if you are venturing into either of those places, good for you. Ooh, how about some crystals that are associated with promoting love, healing, abundance? We got emeralds, rose quartz, citrine. Also, Taurus is associated with the throat when you're looking at the different body parts. So naturally, I am always, anytime I do any kind of chakra clearing and cleansing, I always spend some time on my throat chakra because that's how we communicate. That's how we give out our unique vibrational frequency of our voice. So I think it's always important to just focus some love and energy, because I know for myself, depending on the energy that is circulating out there, I can sometimes find it really challenging to find my words, especially to how I'm feeling. Not all the time, but I have definitely come into that a few times in the last 3 months where I'm like, just staying quiet feels better than trying to find words to how I feel.
I mean, sometimes that is the answer. I used to be the kind of person that felt like I needed to fill this space to speak. And I felt like I was speaking too much for a long time. And so now I feel like I very much take my time with what I say because of that. Sometimes I wish, like, have you ever like had a conversation or like you were someplace and somebody was really rude to you, and then an hour later you're like, oh, I just thought about what I should have said to them.
Yes.
Oh, man.
I had such an interesting experience the other night.
Oh, do tell.
So I had my pitch that went really well. I did very good on it. I felt very good about it.
Proud of you.
And I left there feeling like, just I fucking crushed that. And I took myself out for a dirty martini, which I had not had in a long time, like a really good one. I did go to one restaurant. We don't have a ton of restaurants in my town that, cater to a dirty martini, if you will. And so I went to one thinking, this is good. And I was parked and I was on the phone. So I was wrapping my phone call up, and like 13, 75, 80-year-old people walked out. And I was like, I don't think they're drinking dirty martinis. This is probably not the spot.
Not the vibe.
So I left that restaurant and went to a different one. And it was perfect. She made a great dirty martini. And there was a guy outside having a cigarette while I was walking in. And then happened chance where I sat down at the bar, he was right next to me. Because it was just going to be myself. So I didn't want to take up like a middle bar spot. So I sat on the corner. So, people could sit on either side.
Right.
So he sits down, and he is a rough life kind of guy. You can tell that,
Gotcha.
He has been dealt some cards, right? He's got his Newports right in his front pocket of his t-shirt, his collared t-shirt. And he starts sneezing. And so naturally I said, oh, bless you. A minute later, not like sequential sneezes. It was like a minute later he sneezed again. I was like, oh, bless you. He's like, there's probably going to be like 4 or 5. I was like, why are they so spaced out? I don't know. Anyways, we got to chatting. Nice guy. Nice enough. Rough around the edges. Probably really would not hang out with him or talk to him had we not been in this situation. Like, he proceeded to tell me that girls shouldn't wrestle because it's a boy's sport.
I hope you fucking tackled him right there.
Right
there, off the bar stool. Let's fucking go.
I just really wanted to enjoy my martini. And I was
Why
like,
did you not wrestle him?
Because no.
Rachel?
I did not want to touch this man. Anyways, it was just an interesting evening where, and then I ordered an appetizer, and long story short, his whole vibe the whole time was like me having to just listen to him. Like, he went into great detail about how fucked up his family is and how all of these things are happening to him. And he is not the kind of guy that, life is happening for him. It is definitely happening to him. Like, he is violently attacked all the time, like by himself, right? Like,
right.
He's like, I just built this house and I just want to be away from people. I can't deal with people. I hate people. I'm going to put a lake in with alligators. And I'm like,
sir, might I recommend you stop speaking then?
I was just like, oh God. But it's all about the attention. Like, it was so easy for me to see and feel his pain. And I kept thinking, why am I having this gentleman in my life right now? Right? Because I always go back to everything happens in divine time. We don't meet people that we're not supposed to meet. We don't have conversations with people that we're not supposed to have conversations with. Now, I did have a friend join me, and this gentleman did end up buying the whole bill because he felt inclined. That's like kind of his thing. That was all about the money. And he has a lot of it. He also made that very clear multiple times to me. And so I naturally was not going to fight it. I was just like, thank you. Thank you so much. That was very nice. And we did say we were going to someplace else and went another place as a strategic move because nobody was left in the restaurant. So it was just an interesting turn of events.
Did you know this guy?
No, I had never met him before in my life.
Wait, the guy that bought the meal?
Yes.
Interesting.
Well, and he tried to order another. Have you ever been in a situation? This is another thing that like really pissed me off. And I was thinking about why it pissed me off. But like, I went there for myself to have a celebratory beverage, right? And I bought that for me. And then he tried to order me another one. And I was like, no. I'm a one martini kind of gal. And he was like, come on. And I was like, no, sir. Thank you.
I feel like you should have wrestled this guy too.
I know. But I just was like, why? Because so much about him was like pushing my buttons, and I just kept not allowing it to push my buttons, right? Because I wanted to have an enjoyable evening, and I didn't want. He's the kind of guy that you could get into it so quickly. And if I told you the friend that joined me, they did get into it, and I was like, we have got to get out of here. This is like, they were like, she was just going to go. And I was like, please, I just don't want this to ruin my night. Like, why?
What happened to solo Rachel night?
I needed a wingman. I was like, it was just, yeah. Anyways, it was a very interesting night. The energy was like, it was there. So yeah. Where we're going to bring this back?
Well, I think the one thing that we haven't talked about here is that there is a huge astrological shift happening.
Okay.
Where Uranus has been transiting Taurus now. But Uranus is it's a little bit about chaos, but it's a lot about transformation.
Mm-hmm.
So the last 7 years, if we think about what Taurus represents with physical comforts and material possessions and things like that, Uranus transiting through there has really shaped the way that we interact with the physical and digital world. And that's been a big transformation that has happened. And Uranus is going to leave Taurus, and it's not going to see that sign again for another 84 years.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so when you have these big ones, they're going to present amazing new opportunities. And like, it's that letting go of what has been and moving into what will be.
Well, right, because this new transformation that's happening, I think is going to have a lot to do with the collective. And I think because it's moving into Gemini, which is a mutable sign, you're going to see a lot of shifting happening. And I think you're going to see a lot of, I think we should bring Jenny in to like really speak on more. And then we touched on this a little bit, in our first episodes, but we are moving out of that energy and moving into a brand new energy. So I think everybody's going to feel this shift and feel that Taurus energy.
Yeah. And I feel, this is kind of a reminder to you if you're listening to this, and all of these shifts and seasons have effects on you. So if you're curious about what it's specifically to your specific needs and alignment, you can always look up your astrological charts, or you can reach out to an astrologer and they can help give you a more personalized, detailed walkthrough explanation. So prepare.
Well,
Every season, just prepare.
I would say, too, pay attention to where you feel restlessness during this season, because where you feel that restlessness, you might be able to make a shift in how you're living and doing things to make life feel a little bit better or more exciting, or, kind of move out of that stagnant, restless energy. So I would just say pay attention to that.
Yep.
And of course, to Rachel's point, check your natal chart. If you're not a Taurus, see if you have, a Taurus rising, Taurus moon, or if you have like a major, some sort of major placement.
Right. And the energy of, naturally, if you do have Taurus in your chart, everything will be amplified. Krystyn touched on this earlier, but you can still absorb the energy, move with the energy, focus on living in your personal life, focus on changing up your home, going through spring cleaning exercises. Like, those are just all ways that regardless, you can work with the energy, not against the energy, which is always, regardless of anything else, always work with the energy. Even if it feels uncomfortable and you're in the chaos of it, just work with it. Don't work against it.
Well, discomfort's telling you where you need to lean in.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to put my hat back on for
this. Yes. Okay.
Tip of the top of the morning to you.
Okie dokie.
Tip of the hat. The
tip of the hat. Now the tip. There we go.
Just the tip.
Worst saying ever.
Who do you think came up with that? I mean, clearly a man, but
yeah.
I don't think I know. I'm trying to think. Do I know anybody that's like a major Taurus placement? Well, my sister-in-law's a Taurus.
I have a lot of family that are Taurus. My dad, he's a cusp. He's the 22nd of April. So he kind of changes between Aries and Taurus, depending. I would say he leans more towards Taurus than he does Aries.
Still got that fiery streak in him.
A little bit, yeah. Both of his sisters are Taurus, and like a bunch of my cousins on that family side. I have a lot on that side. Not so much on my mom's side. So, also fascinating.
It is. Well, friends, I think we're going to wrap it up. That's what she said.
Wrap it up and get out of here.
Oh, speaking of wrapping it up, we went to Giant Eagle this morning. Charlie's mom was in town. I just adore her. I love her so much. And she had tried this protein powder that we have. She is an amazing creature. She is a pancreatic cancer survivor, and
which is
incredible.
Yeah, amazing.
And due to that, since she's gone through, treatment, surgery, and everything,
yes.
She now is diabetic.
Yes,
she's missing part of her pancreas. So she struggles sometimes to find the right foods for her body. And she found a protein powder that Evie uses. It's plant-based that we had. So I took her over there to get it before she went back home. And we're just the three of us walking through the grocery store being so ridiculous and silly. And I mean, watching Charlie with his mom is so sweet and cute and wonderful. And I love it so much. But we're walking through the aisle with the contraceptive devices. And there was a random pack sitting there, and I just grabbed it, and I was like, Mamie, think fast. And I threw it to her, and she caught it. She looked out. She was like, ooh, pleasure pack.
What did Charlie?
Oh, God, it was so funny. They were laughing. Of course, He was like, you grabbed the wrong one. You need the magnums. I was like, God damn it, Charlie.
It never, ever, no. Like, they will never not think that the biggest cock is the best cock.
Oh, man. Those guys are brutal. They, him and his brother steal their mom's phone, and they text each other inappropriate things from their mom's text thread.
Oh, God.
Like really inappropriate things.
Mhm.
It's
The joys of being a parent.
I mean, you have that to look forward to with your kids being, multiples.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us.
Be silly. Go be silly.
Go throw some condoms at your mother-in-law.
Yeah. I mean, take advantage of all the spring energy that's coming and flowing. And
it feels good, guys.
It does. Yeah. Open those windows.
I'm like ready. I'm ready for this.
Metaphoric for other things. Open your windows.
And plow your garden.
There you go.
All right, we're out.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.